Hey guys, Miss Brittany here, and today I'm going to read you guys a book called The Pledge of Allegiance, and it is by Norman Pearl, and it's illustrated by Matthew Skeens. Now, the reason that I'm reading The Pledge of Allegiance is because we're going to be working on the Pledge of Allegiance today. We are going to be working on understanding what the Pledge of Allegiance is and what the different words inside of the Pledge of Allegiance mean. So again, if this is by Norman Pearl, that means that he's the author or that he wrote the words that are inside of the book. If it is illustrated by Matthew Skeens, then he is the one that drew the pictures or supplied the pictures for the book. The Pledge of Allegiance. So notice inside of this book, inside of this first page here, we have the table of contents. If you look at the table of contents, it tells you the name of each section inside of the book, and it tells you what page it starts on, but we're going to read the entire book. So we're going to start at the very front. All right. My name is Frances Bellamy. I wrote the Pledge of Allegiance. Many American children say this pledge each day at school. They speak the words of the pledge to honor their country's flag. Read on to find out more about the Pledge of Allegiance. Writing the pledge. I wrote the Pledge of Allegiance on a hot August night in 1892. That year, people celebrated the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus sailing to America. At the time, I worked for a magazine in Boston, Massachusetts called the Youth's Companion. A group called the National Education Association was planning a special event for Columbus Day. I was in charge of the committee putting it all together. I wrote the pledge so students would have something special to say that day. A special celebration. School children around the United States took part in the Columbus Day celebration on October 12th of 1892. There were parades, speeches, and more than 12 million students said the pledge to honor the U.S. flag. More than 60,000 public schools took part in the event, which was called the National Public School Celebration. The first Pledge of Allegiance. At first, the Pledge of Allegiance just had 23 words. That's a bit shorter than the pledge Americans say today. This is how it went. I pledge allegiance to my flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's a lot different than what we say. A popular pledge. Right away, Americans liked the Pledge of Allegiance. Saying its words gave them a way to explain how much their country meant to them. Before long, children were reciting the pledge every morning at school. The pledge became an important symbol of patriotism. Changes to the pledge. For more than 30 years, people spoke the pledge just as it was written. In the 1920s, there were some changes. People attending the National Flag Conference in Washington, D.C. changed the words "my flag" to "the flag of the United States of America." The Pledge of Allegiance had become very important to Americans. In 1942, Congress, a branch of the U.S. government, made it the nation's official pledge. Then, in 1954, the pledge was changed for the last time. Congress added the words "under God." This change created the pledge used today. Understanding the pledge. Some students say the Pledge of Allegiance every day in school, but do they know what it really means? Here's a closer look at the pledge and its meaning. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. A pledge is a promise. Allegiance means to be loyal or true to something. When people pledge allegiance to a country's flag, they are promising to be loyal to their country and to the republic for which it stands. A republic is the type of government used in the United States. In a republic, people vote to elect their leaders. No kings or queens rule over the United States. The people rule themselves. So when we cast our votes for who's going to be our president or people in Congress or our senators, then that's how we're a republic. We vote for things inside of the United States. One nation, under God, indivisible. The words under God mean different things to different people. Some people think they mean that God has blessed the United States. Other people believe those words mean that the country acts in keeping with God's laws. When a nation is indivisible, it cannot be divided. This means people in the 50 states join together as one strong nation. Sorry, I had a tickle in my throat. With liberty and justice for all. Liberty means freedom. Americans are proud of the many freedoms they enjoy. Justice means fairness. U.S. laws are based on fairness. These laws promise all Americans the same rights. The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. When do people say the pledge? Classrooms are not the only places where people recite the pledge. The pledge is also said at many official events, such as city council meetings. Veterans groups start their meetings with the pledge. Boy Scout and Girl Scout groups do this too. How to say the pledge. People stand and face the flag when saying the pledge. They place their right hand over their hearts too. Unless they are in military uniform, people remove their hats during the pledge. They hold their hats over their hearts as they speak. Americans recite the Pledge of Allegiance proudly. It is a reminder of their loyalty to the United States. I hope you enjoyed learning more about it. And that is the end of our book. So that book was about the Pledge of Allegiance. I hope that you guys better understand what the Pledge of Allegiance is and why we say it. It is very important to me. And I hope you guys enjoy the worksheets about it and enjoy learning about it. All right, guys. So as you guys noticed, we are talking about the Pledge of Allegiance this week. So I know every day at the beginning of school, we would stand up and we would put our hand over our heart and we would pledge to the flag. So we're going to really quickly go over the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to read it out. It says, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So that's the flag, or that's the pledge that we do every morning to the flag. Let's go over some of the words that are in the Pledge of Allegiance that you may not understand what they mean. If you'll flip over to the back side, this right here says allegiance. When you're pledging allegiance to something, you're pledging to be loyal to something. So if you're pledging allegiance to the United States, then you're pledging that you're going to be loyal to the United States and you're going to stay there. Nation is just a country, okay? Justice is fairness. So if you're creating justice for everyone, you're creating fairness. You want everyone to be treated fairly. Liberty. If you're standing for liberty, you're standing for freedom. You want everyone to be free and have their rights. If you pledge something, you're promising. Indivisible means cannot be divided. So what the Pledge of Allegiance stands for is that we as an entire nation of people are coming together to pledge our loyalty to our nation to create fairness and freedom. And we promise that we're not going to be divided. We're going to stand together to protect our country. All right, guys. So this book right here, this is the next thing in your booklet. And this is just a little book. It's the Pledge of Allegiance. And you can read along as you trace it. So this says the Pledge of Allegiance. On each page, what it does is it says the words of the Pledge of Allegiance. It says, I pledge allegiance. Those are the first words that we say. So what they're going to have you do is just to copy this phrase right here onto this line. Okay, so you're going to copy it just like it is up here. Remember, if it is a capital, it starts all the way at the top. Pledge, right nice and neat. Allegiance. Okay, moving on to the next page. If you flip it over to the back side, it has the next words. To the flag of thee. So you're just going to copy that down. To the flag of thee. And this is just to practice the words to the Pledge of Allegiance. And you guys can color this later whenever you're finished writing your words down. United States of America. So we're going to copy that. United States of America. Okay, and that one's done. Next one, and to the republic, we're going to copy that down. Moving on down. For which it stands. And flip it over to the back side. One nation under God. Indivisible, with liberty don't forget to put your commas in there. Last page. And justice for all. All right, if you haven't finished already and you need to go back, just rewind the video and go back to any part that you need. But that book is just telling you the words to the Pledge of Allegiance. It's something that you can read. You guys know the Pledge of Allegiance, so you guys can read this pretty easily. I pledge allegiance, and then so on and so forth. All right, so this is the next page that you guys have in your packet. So all we're doing is we're taking these pieces down here at the bottom. We're going to cut those out. Or if you don't have scissors or glue, then you can just write them up here in the box to show the correct answer. So we're just filling in the words to the Pledge of Allegiance. So I'm just going to write them because I don't have scissors or glue. It says, I pledge allegiance. What word comes next? I pledge allegiance to. All right. So I go down here to the bottom. I'm going to find the word to. Oh, I know it's that one. So I'm going to copy it up here in my box. T. O says to, and I'm going to mark it out. Okay, so I pledge allegiance to the flag of, of thee. Thee is the next word. So I come down here to the bottom, find the word thee. Oh, there it is. That's one of our sight words. I know that's thee. So I'm going to write it in the box, thee, and then mark it out. That way I know that I've used it. United States of America, and to the republic for. Oh, there it is. One of our sight words again. For. Write it in the box. Mark it out so you know you've used it. Which it stands, one. Well, I know this is not one, so this has to be one. Remember, this is another sight word. This is our number sight word. Okay, so I'm going to copy that into the box, one, and mark it out. Nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I know and is the last word. Okay, and then up here at the top, whenever you're finished, you can just finish coloring in the American flag. So you'll have to draw it in. You'll have to draw your stars and your stripes, but then you can color it in. Remember, the colors of the flag are red, white, and blue. We have red and white stripes, a blue background behind 50 white stars. Remember, the 50 stars stand for Each one stands for a state in the United States of America. How awesome is that? Hey guys, so this is the little reader that's inside your book this week, inside your packet. And I want you guys to practice reading this to somebody inside of your house. Remember, there's a lot of high frequency words or sight words that are in here that you guys need to be practicing. Remember to practice your sight word folders, okay? So let's start reading. It says, what can you do? What can you do? Remember, these marks right here are called quotation marks. Anything that's in between these is exactly what someone said. It says, this is for you. What can you do? So it looks like she's trying to give her jump rope to her dad, asking, hey, what can you do with it? I can do this, said Dad. So Dad is who said, I can do this. He's out there and he's jumping, isn't he? What can we do? So I guess he's trying to figure out what they can do together. Oh, now they've got the whole family involved. We can do this. So Mom and Dad are helping her to jump rope. How awesome is that? All right. So that's our reader for this week. Take it out, color it, practice reading it, and I hope you guys enjoy it.